as the audience at home listening to the stream.
They have a few drinks. They go out and skate because it's at the ice rink, which is never a good combination. But I try not to watch.
That's cool. That's great.
But it's
Jorge Garcia was a guest, right?
Yep, Jorge's a guest, and
he's been with us every year.
I think he's been every year.
We recorded last year because I think he was in Ireland.
Something. Oh no, he went to Ireland. I don't know.
I can't remember, but he this year, like I said, he did an hour. We had a half hour left because I'll stay. He's pretty easygoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like he really has some affection for you guys, right? And you guys have. Would you say you become friends?
I think he likes me, but he doesn't like Jay.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure. I haven't figured it out yet.
No, definitely I would say we're definitely friends with Jorge, but it's not, when we have conversations, it's not even really Bloss driven or anything. It's just, what's going on. Let's talk about what we like, what nerd things that we're into right now.
What's he doing? Do you know?
He is working.
He was on Once Upon a Time.
He was on Once Upon a Time, and I think he's working on a pilot.
Yeah,
and I don't know how much more we can say about
the
that.
name. It's he's playing a detective.
Yeah,
that doesn't always go by the rules.
Good.
So I think he's filming that, and they're waiting to see if they're going to pick it up or not.
Yeah, it's got a few of the cast members from. What was the show San Francisco?
Alcatraz.
Right.
Alcatraz.
Because Sam Neill's.
And some of the same people. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was really good on that show, but I didn't love the show.
Yeah, the show definitely, I think, had some opportunities with.
It was good in the beginning, really good at the end, but it had
that show got me frustrated with the J.J. Abrams, mystery box stock TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since you mentioned that, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I mean, Lost is right up there with any of my favorite shows, but I think it would have been top of the list if it had wrapped up in what I thought was a satisfying way. And Karen, and I disagree on this. And I know you guys, what do you guys think of people who aren't satisfied with that? Or can you see that some people might not be, or what do you think of all that?
I get it.
Yeah, I get it completely. I think we knew pretty early on, even because when did we first meet Damon? I think it was
in Hawaii.
It was in Hawaii. But even talking to him, I think he realized that half the people weren't going to like this show when it ended. Okay. I think no matter what, and I think Jack and I both agree, is like there's going to be people that do not like the ending of the show because there's two ways to go. They either could go with satisfying the character's end or satisfying the mythology's end, and it's really hard to make both happen realistically.
Well, I think I said for myself, I said after season 5, I said, all right, I put too much time and effort into this because I was worried about it. I said, well, I said because I can be negative. I said I'm going to like this no matter what. I'm going to just be positive each episode. And I just think, plus the way we saw it with last finale party with 2,000 people.
Yeah.
And there was just no way not. I don't think anybody left there. And I've said this 1,000 times. I haven't heard anyone that was there say I didn't like it.
I think if you really love the characters and that was your passion, you're going to be satisfied. But I can definitely see people getting frustrated with the flash shot sideways, the Judeo-Christian ending to some extent.
I had no problem with people that didn't like it.
But I personally, for me, I enjoyed it. But I think I was definitely part of the ride more than most people. So for me, it was a personal journey as well as watching a TV show. So it was a very satisfying end. But I could definitely see points where they did the show that I think it could have been tighter and better.
I mean, yeah, to me, I was really satisfied emotionally. And like you say, the character half of it with that ending. And just as an episode in and of itself, it felt like a really great way to end the show. But it just sort of confirmed that, okay, maybe there wasn't as much to these mysteries as we all hoped and thought, But that doesn't mean that was a bad episode. It just means that maybe there was a flaw in the show overall, maybe.
Well, and I think it's almost, I don't know if Damon and JJ intended the mysteries to become such a big part of that show.
Right.
Like I think almost the audience, including myself, Jack and I took so much into every minute detail.
Yeah.
Based on our just viewing habits or what we got out of it, and we put so much meaning into an Apollo candy bar, which is just this candy bar that they use. But we had all these theories. Yeah. Like. I think that was part of us just putting so much into every minute detail of the show.
It might have caught them off guard too, because
I don't think that was their intention, but they. I think most of the mysteries, at least like looking back on it for me, I feel like most of those big questions about the show were answered for me anyway. Mm-hmm. I'll argue because I have people at work tell me sometimes like, well, it all didn't matter. It's like, well, how does it all doesn't matter? Because they all lived, and they some of them left the island, and then after they all died, they got together. It's like, it just doesn't make sense.
I have one specific one that's been bothering me.
Okay.
When Ben goes to see Charles in his hotel room, and they filmed it in England because Charles was doing that guy was doing a play, and he said, I guess Charles said, "You can't kill me right now because of the rules" or something. Remember that?
Right.
I never understood why he couldn't kill him.
That's what you got hung up on?
If it wasn't for that.
Maybe it's because like Men in Black couldn't kill. Well,
he must have been on some type of Jacob's protection list or something.
Revenge type. It's a whole.
Okay. So
that's the only thing
Jacob, yeah.
I guess they didn't really answer it, but I know what you're talking about because it was the part where it has both had the shadows had light and dark on both their faces, right? At the end scene.
Oh, okay.
When they're in the room, it was a big deal.
Uh-huh.
It was a big deal back then. They had light, dark.
Yeah. I know that was a theme.
Also, Mrs. Hawkins is on. Who's the priest? Remember the photo?
Oh yeah.
I think that was the most emails and calls we ever got.
I wanted to geek out and have some actual Lost talk with Jane Jack. So that was great. Thanks.
But that's the best. That's the best thing about this show, though. We've said if they didn't answer all the questions, and you can still theorize. You can still theorize on what happened, what didn't happen, what could have happened. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I would like them to go back and do like a 2-hour movie on what happened with how did Allison Janney, when she was played Mother, how did she get there? What started before that? Right. I would like to know. A lot of people don't, but I would like to know what happened.
Carlton and Damon, I don't think they'd ever go back to it. I think they were smacked too hard for the ending. I think they're done. What do you guys think?
I think they say never, but someone goes, "We're going to pay you this amount of money." They might.
Well, it's funny that Damon was very much on. He was going to feature films. And I think it was, the last time we talked to him for this podcast, the Autism Speaks podcast, this year's, a couple weeks ago, he's doing his new show now on HBO. So he's giving up the features to go back to TV and doing a show, being a showrunner again.
Right.
What show?
It's Leftovers.
Yeah, it's called The Leftovers. It's based on a book.
It sounds cool.
Oh yeah. Right.
It looks real. Hearing him talk about it has me pretty pumped about it. So it should be pretty good, I think.
I smell another podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I go, we got a new podcast.
What's your guys' second favorite show that you've podcasted on?
There's been a few.
Well,
Firefly?
Well, I would. Yeah, Firefly.
Well, we did Flash Forward.
We did Flash Forward. That got canceled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we
did like it It was one of the first. It was the first podcast we actually started bashing the podcast we were doing.
I mean, bashing the podcast we were doing, or bashing the show?
Show. We were bashing the show. Bashing the show because the first they had two halves, and they really made some mistakes in the beginning. They did. There was nobody you cared about, and we kept saying, "I don't care about. I just don't care." When they came back, they came back and said, "But it was too late."
Yeah, I mean, we did Flash Forward, V, Firefly.
We actually quit V.
We quit V.
I mean, even counting,
I can't do it anymore.
Even counting ones you've talked about in your, general TV podcast.
Okay, so we're just picking favorite TV show.
Yeah, like what besides Lost?
That's a tough question.
It's on now.
Yeah, could be.
I would. I've said it a couple times, but my favorite show on TV right now is the British Top Gear.
You don't have to theorize
that
at
show.
Oh, I haven't seen that show.
It's so if you like personalities and good banter, the show is
it's
brilliant.
The most watched show in the world.
But if it had
300 million,
yeah, they get 300 million viewers like an episode.
Okay,
but it's a good show. It's not anything to theorize. I also Mad Men, Game of Thrones, all the usual suspects.
Yeah. What, Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad. I love Breaking Bad. I love The Walking Dead. I'm not just saying that because you podcast, but I love The Walking Dead. Sons of Anarchy, Justified. I'm trying to get Jay to watch Justified. It's a great.
I hear that's a very good show.
If you like Timothy Olyphant, it's a must.
We're about 36 minutes in. Do you guys have a couple more minutes?
Sure.
Okay. I want to talk about Walking Dead just a little bit. So, Jack, I know you're doing a podcast on that. I was wondering why you're not involved, Jay.
I don't actually watch the show.
Okay.
Can I say that on this podcast?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I'm doing a Walking Dead is because this guy at work has been bugging me. He was bugging me about doing a following podcast, and saw the pilot, loved the pilot. We saw it. I've actually seen it 3 times. The pilot, saw it twice at Comic-Con. Once, loved it. Thought it was going to be a great show. Now it's in the show I'm bashing and making fun of. I didn't see the following going in the right direction, so I said, hey. He watched Walking Dead. Said, let's do Walking Dead, and we picked up a third guy, Matt. We do sports talk with 3 stupid guys. That's what we call it. So now we do it, The Walking Dead with 3 stupid guys. Okay. We just do it live on TalkShoe and just have a good time with it. I don't have to do. Matt does all the recap stuff. I don't have to do anything but just show up.
And we're seeing a trend here this season, season 3.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite?
I love the first half of The Walking Dead. Where they had 2 halves this season.
Yeah,
was excellent.
Awesome.
The second half I thought was not. In fact, the finale. I didn't like it. The finale.
You're not alone.
Well,
Karen and I were in that, by the way.
Oh,
really?
We were zombies, yeah.
We were zombies? Well, how cool is that?
Jason,
everybody. Oh, go ahead.
Jason died twice as a zombie.
Really?
That's why I was kind of bummed that it's one of those episodes that people don't like, because I want people
so it's your fault, is what
you know what?
Yeah.
I love this. I thought the zombies in this episode were the best ever.
That's sweet. Yeah, it's too bad. The way it ended kind of, I actually did like it for the most part, but the fact that nobody died in the big battle and the way it kind of ended on it
was a letdown.
Flat note, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had the governor and Rick, who were all season they were just building up. Okay, these guys are going to battle, and it was almost like this final season, the first season of Heroes, that finale episode.
I've heard that a couple times. That's pretty dangerous when you're comparing to the finale of Heroes.
Which it was. It was just kind of like, that's it. That's what you're going with.
You should check it out, Jay. A lot of people say, I don't know if that's just because they're big fans, but people we hear from say it feels like the spiritual successor to Lost in some ways. All these people sort of banded together in this world that, in this dangerous world. And
Didn't you watch the first season?
I did. I'm not a big gory guy. I don't like gory stuff.
It's only gotten worse too.
Gory.
Yeah.
I love doom and gloom. I love end of the world type stuff, like the Revolution. I like it because it's kind of end of the world type stuff. I used to love.
I don't mind that. It's just I'm not a horror guy. I don't like horror stuff.
But it's really not horror. I mean,
but I just like the guts and like Colleen.
Heads off.
Yeah, my wife, she loves Bones, which is just a generic. I mean, it's not generic, but it's a buddy cop kind of show. Mm-hmm. But like in that show, they have these gruesome, gross things, and I was like, ugh, I can't even watch this. So.
I think another problem with the finale too is they had some of their better episodes were the last 2 or 3 leading up to it, and so maybe that was kind of a letdown. The one where the 3 go on, Rick, his son, Carl,
Clear.
and Michonne go on and go on and that was such a great. I ranked that up top 5.
Yeah.
Totally.
It was great. It was just a fantastic episode. It kind of let down towards the end.
Do you know about the whole showrunner thing?
I know they swapped out or something like that.
Yeah, so Frank Darabont started out. He's the director of Shawshank Redemption. Then they fired him or whatever, and this Glenn Mazzara came in, and he worked on The Shield. And that's when it really started to get good at the end of season 2 and the beginning of season 3. But now they've had creative differences, and he's gone. But the one bright spot is the new guy, Scott Gimple, is the guy who wrote that episode that you liked, Clear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's written a bunch of the other ones that people tend to like. So...
What's your feedback on season 2? Because I just see on Twitter and people didn't like it, but I like season 2.
Personally, I thought it was too slow in the beginning, and the whole Sophia storyline took too long. But once that was resolved, then I just loved the second half.
What I liked about it was the fact that they had the walkers when they had them in the barn.
Yeah,
that you see every week these guys getting, like Jay say, it's gory. They're getting stabbed in the heads every they're just getting slaughtered. They're called a herd. They're slaughtered. They're not, they were at one time living people.
I know.
And I go, you forget that because you get caught up in the whole thing. And
Yes.
I thought they did a great job doing that, but people were like, no, I hate it slow.
Yeah, like Maggie Glenn tells Maggie, we call him walkers. What do you call him? And she's like, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, exactly. I thought they did it. They had to do that because, like I said, because I get sometimes I go, all right, get it. All right, we've killed 100 zombies. I get it. We can move on. Let's get to something else. But I mean, not that I don't like a good zombie killing,
Right.
but the different ways they kill them and stuff like that. But like this, when Daryl, his brother Merle, had turned into a zombie and he had to kill him. I mean, that was a touching scene.
Yeah, that's one thing that Walking Dead does better than a lot of, like, say, zombie movies is it pays attention to the sort of human part of it, all the emotions and everything. Yeah. So, Jack, do you have some kind of a Walking Dead crackpot theory?
Crackpot theory. I do think Michonne and Rick are going to hook up.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna become a couple, and then Carl's gonna have to kill another mom.
That's the one part of that theory I haven't heard.
Good. Crackpotty.
I think Rick's gonna have problems with Carl.
Yeah.
I think he's grown up too fast, and he's gonna have some issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody was saying that, not to get too much into this, but that because Carl killed that kid in the finale, that some of these Woodbury people who've just come to the prison are going to find out about that, and they're not going to be so happy with him.
Do you think Carl was right to do it, though?
I think if he would have just said, hey, I said drop it, and if you don't, you're going to die, or drop it now or die, and then done it, I would have felt better about it. But
he did make a good point. How many times have they been burned because they try to be nice?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, like they said, drop the gun, and then the kid takes 1 or 2 steps forward, and then if he would have just said, drop it now or die, and then he didn't drop it and then shoot him, rather than just shoot him. But, without that, I mean, yeah, I guess it was better to do it, because the kid he had a kind of a sketchy look in his eye, and he wasn't doing what they were saying. So yeah.
But like you said, we're still talking about it. So that's good writing.
That's what they wanted, right? That's one thing that Walking Dead does so well, is get us all talking about these issues, and our listeners, we have some who are just bloodthirsty and always take the violent side, and some like me who are bleeding hearts and take the other side more often. Okay, I don't want to tie you guys up too much longer. Karen, do you have any more questions?
No, I just am so incredibly grateful for you guys taking the time to be on our podcast.
Well, before we say goodbye, I want to know, just let everybody know what you guys are up to now and how they can find out about what you're doing and get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. We still do the Ramblecast, which is our kind of rambly counterpart to the Lost podcast for all those years, which is, I think we're putting those on the Lost feed if you want to listen to us. And then we have exclusive shows as part of a subscription-based program over at janejacktv.com, where Jack and I cover the week's TV through all a bunch of different TV shows that we watch, as well as our Married Man show, the Walking Dead show, Downton Abbey show. There's a Fringe show on there. The Great Firefly podcast that we did.
We never finished.
So that's all over at janejacktv.com. Yeah.
Or you can go to the Facebook page. What's that?
Oh yeah, our Facebook page, facebook.com/group/.
There's all kinds of debates on TV show. Any TV show you can think of it, people debating.
Nice.
And mostly friendly.
And what's our one rule, Karen?
Oh, yeah. So all guests have to give us your zombie sound.
You can do it both together if you want.
I got a question for you. Guys are zombie experts. How long do they last? I mean, they're rotten flesh. How long do they keep just until they get their brains smashed in?
One thing that has bothered me about season 3 is how easy it seems to be now to kill them. Have you noticed that? Like you can almost just press something against their head and it goes in like butter. And
they're getting softer.
That's what our listeners are saying. They're decaying.
And what about the guy in the backpack? How did he not be able? How could he not outrun zombies?
I know, that poor guy. That's one thing that I didn't agree with.
He twisted his ankle.
It was kind of a funny scene, but it was sad at the same time.
Yeah.
I kind of laughed, but then I was like, well, that was a guy.
Yeah.
It was funny because he was like, wait up.
wait for me. And no emotion. They just check out and they just drive away. And then they come back and you see part of his body laying there and just pick up the backpack.
I'm like, what do you think was in the backpack, Karen? She's like, porn.
Well, that would make sense.
Okay. So
Zombie. Let's see.
I'm going to count to 3.
Are we doing it together, Jack?
Do it together. Let's do it together.
Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
That's my best zombie.
Yes.
That's why we're never going to be extras on the show because we can't be that. I was thinking about getting up and just hitting Jay in the brain.
Ow!
But how am I going to find that?
All right,
sorry.
you guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very good. All right. Good luck. We'll be listening to you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's next? Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Karen and I saw the Evil Dead movie together. And
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The new Evil Dead remake. And
Yeah.
we were done. We looked at each other like, I was looking at her like, wasn't that great? And she was looking at me like, wasn't that shitty?
That's true. That is exactly
Yeah.
how we looked at each other.
I will give you this. I don't think Roger Ebert would have liked this movie.
Did he review it? I was
don't think
wondering.
so.
I was wondering because he died about 2 weeks ago, and I was wondering if he was able to get to that before he died.
I doubt it.
I
I'm
hope
looking it up,
that
but you
wasn't.
start talking
please
about-
let that not have been his
No,
last.
it wasn't. There was some movie that he reviewed that was his last movie. I forget what it was, but it was a poignant last movie
good.
for him to have reviewed. It
Good.
had something to do with life and death or something
Loved Roger Ebert. I
Yeah.
have very fond memories of watching at the movies, and I
Me
loved.
too.
I loved.
like that. Siskel.
Yep, and you know, it was kind of I'm a movie fan, so watching him was fun. You know, I'm a movie buff, and I enjoyed it. So anyway,
He did review Evil Dead 2. He gave it 3 stars.
Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2, our favorite, is a comedy disguised as blood-soaked shakarama. Yeah, so wait, before we actually get into the review, I just want to reiterate. So Karen and I both love Evil Dead 2, which is one of Sam Raimi's early movies starring Bruce Campbell. It's kind of a combination horror movie comedy.
It's an adventure
We reviewed
movie.
it on our podcast before. It's one of our favorites. Some listeners wrote in and said they couldn't get into it. And I guess if you don't like kind of schlocky stuff, you might not like it. But I love that movie.
And I loved the sequel to that, which is Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, yeah.
By the way, did you know Danny Elfman did the music for that?
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't surprise me either. And I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan. I love his stuff, and I love Bruce Campbell too. I've followed his career as well.
So this movie, one of the signature things of Sam Raimi is he does this weird camera angles.
Yes.
And like that, he pioneered that whole thing of the camera zooming across in this case, the forest up.
Do you know how they did that?
On a dolly or something?
No, they mounted a camera on a couple of 2x4s, and he had his buddies run with the camera.
Oh, yeah,
and then he sped it
That's
up.
great.
Yeah,
they really made that movie cheaply. And
they
this
did.
Movie
Was not made cheaply.
It had almost no computer generated effects.
Right, I
Yeah,
read that too.
which is pretty awesome considering how cool the effects looked, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, no CGI. It was all done with make. I thought it was going to be Greg Nicotero's house that did the.
No, that his guys were making fun of it in the makeup trailer when I was on set.
Well, they did Evil Dead too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And but they had nothing to do with this particular movie.
Nope.
Even though Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, by the way, were both producers of this movie.
So we might talk in detail about some of the plot points. We won't give away too much, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just so you know, out of 5 brains, I gave it 2.
yeah, I didn't think about my rating, but I'd say it's close to a 4, maybe 3.75.
Gax.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'd give it.
Fair enough. You know, part of my problem is that it might not be my genre. I need my kind of movies to be funny or clever and interesting or flat out creepy. And this just didn't have those things. It just didn't hold my attention. In fact, I started...
That mean you don't like The Walking Dead either?
I think that Walking Dead is at times funny, at times clever and interesting, and at times creepy. At times all of those
I guess
things.
you're right.
And I was
trying to be funny. I see what you're saying.
I never make shopping lists in my head when I'm watching The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about my garden.
Is that why you went to the grocery store?
I was thinking about the garden and whether I should plant cherry tomatoes or beefsteak tomatoes. Seriously, I had a whole thing in my head while I was watching this movie about what kind of tomatoes to buy.
Yeah. Okay. So the first Evil Dead movie was, I think, more of a straight horror movie, or that's what they were trying to make.
Right.
People still said it was campy, and that surprised them. So with the second one, they kind of went with it.
Yeah.
But they didn't intend it. So this is more like the first one. It's a straightforward horror movie. There were a couple of funny parts, but mostly it was very straight.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the one thing they did that was a little different than a lot of horror movies is it was young people, but they weren't all sexed up and partying.
Right.
Instead, the premise, and this is one of the few plot points I'll give away, was that the one girl was a heroin addict, I think.
Yeah, and she was
they
detoxing.
were taking her there for the week, her friends to get detoxed,
which is actually clever.
Yeah, I thought that was clever, and it added this element of she's seeing these things because she's detoxing.
Right.
It made it a little more believable that they would stay there for a little longer instead of just leaving right away.
Right, exactly.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
although I
I'll give you
almost
that.
kind of think if you're going to do, I mean, I love this movie because it was a classic horror movie. It was the kind of movie that Cabin in the Woods made fun of. It was exactly this kind of movie. It was a cabin in the woods where they go down and they find this relic and it brings this monster out.
And they smell something foul down in the basement. So they all go check it out.
And if they're going to do these classic horror movie moments, then why not just have it be a party too? I almost thought like that. Like, have the girls getting naked. Come on.
Because if you're going to do it, man.
Let me just say a few points, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
I admire movies that do what they set out to do well, and I thought this movie set out to be a straightforward horror movie, and I thought it did. I thought the acting was good, the dialogue was fine. I really liked the camera work and the way everything looked. Just the forest looked creepy, and the cabin looked so old and dilapidated, and I liked how the demon looked when it possessed people, and I thought it was creepy. And I loved that the demon had this sort of sadistic humor, it would go in and possess a person, and then they'd smile evilly, and then they'd start poking at whoever person they're talking to, their like deepest fears, That's one thing that happened in the regular Evil Dead movies. I mean, it felt Evil Dead-ish to me without the like Three Stooges slapstick that we talked before. I mean, Ash's car, for one thing, was sitting there in the driveway. So I think they were trying to say that this movie could potentially be a sequel, that this is all happening in the same cabin that Ash is in, but it's many years later. And like I say, things that reminded me of the original Evil Dead, the camera work, the way that the demons acted, and just the timing of everything was so meticulous. I just felt like very nostalgic watching this. And I think it also helped that I knew going in that it wasn't going to be funny. So I wasn't looking for that or hoping for that. Like, I think if I would have thought it was going to be like that, I don't know if you did, but if I would have thought that, I would have been pretty disappointed.
I didn't think it was going to be funny, but I was hoping that in exchange, it would be really interesting and creepy, and it also advertised itself as being unbelievably scary, and I wasn't scared even in the slightest. That kind of stuff doesn't scare me.
And you were saying after it was over that you like the more like Paranormal Activity, or where you can't
for creepiness.
For scare. Well, okay, but where you can't. I mean, what I find more scary is Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
Where you can't see the thing. But Evil Dead, it wouldn't be true to the roots of Evil Dead if they did that. We want demons flinging people around saying, "I'm going to swallow your soul."
Yeah.
Not, it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah.
So I noticed I jumped a couple of times and you didn't. I was more like, oh my God. And I guess you were sitting there going, we need carrots and eggs.
That is exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, it's just not my genre. I didn't ever see the Halloween movies. I never saw the Friday the 13th movies. That was just nothing I was ever all that interested in, which is funny because I have a deep and abiding love of all things zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think that I would also love those things too. No.
Not so much. What sets it apart from, like, say,
I'm a
Night of the
complicated-
Living Dead?
Like a Friday the 13th versus a Night of the Living Dead?
Well, this movie, Evil Dead, I guess.
Oh, from the Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah. Why do you like Night of the Living Dead, but you don't like Evil Dead?
This last iteration of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Night of the Living Dead was had a lot of charisma. It was one of the first ones, so it had all the groundbreaking things, and it had a lot of things people hadn't seen before, and it had a moodiness and a feel about it that I really think this was missing. They probably had a ginormous budget for this movie, and yeah, I don't.
You don't
think,
recommend it? Okay.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Well, do you have any more to say about it?
No.
Okay. I think that's it. So, in the end, I give it a thumbs up. You give it a thumbs down. We'll see you at the movies. Let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts. Okay, you want to go first?
Sure. Sorry. Wow, this first one's from Dalton. Dalton writes, I'm surprised at the negative reaction from a lot of people. I absolutely loved the finale. Sad to see some characters go, but the deaths were handled well, except Alan's. Wish he could have had stuck around for a while longer. I'm so glad that the governor lived to fight another day.
I just put that in there because there was a lot of negativity, but there were a lot of people who liked the finale too. And on the AMC website, they did a poll of favorite episodes for the season, and the finale got like third place or something like that.
It's pretty strong.
So, yeah. So we got a review on iTunes that said nobody liked this finale, and you guys gave it a good review, 1 star.
Wow.
So I just, that's not true. I know the Watching Dead guys just hated it. And I think some people listened to them and then they heard me give it a 4.6. And they're like, you guys, someone said, you work for the show because you're a zombie, or whatever. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, believe me, we don't work for the show.
Work for the show, not even. All right, this is from David. Wow, you totally called it. You called it so long ago, you probably don't even remember calling it. I'm new to the show and starting at the beginning. In episode 16, Vatos, you predicted that Merle would end up part of the governor's crew. Amazing.
Wow.
And I wrote him back and I was like, was that me or Karen? And he said it was me.
Yeah, it's totally you. I wouldn't have made that call.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even remember saying that, but cool. He goes on, here's my prediction for season 4. Rick's not a Ricktator anymore. He just recently reaffirmed his commitment to a democratic process. Well, the Woodbury diaspora is now the majority voting bloc, and Carl just killed one of their own in cold blood. Here's my prediction. Rick and Herschel are a little too loud arguing about what to do about Carl. The mother/sister/girlfriend of the Woodbury boy he shot overhears, pieces it together, and blows the whistle. Chaos ensues. Demands retribution. Mob rule. And Carl shows absolutely no remorse. So they vote Carl off the island or out of the prison. Rick goes with Carl, followed by Michonne. Herschel, enraptured with his new farm labor and Woodbury's extensive library and written history, decides to stay. Carol wants to stay and Daryl wants to go. Maggie wants to stay and Glenn wants to go. So Maggie and Carol hook up and Daryl and Glenn hook up. No, I'm just kidding.
You wish.
Not sure how that plays out. Herschel says goodbye to Rick, promising that this is temporary and he'll be welcome back once the Woodbury diaspora gets accustomed to the prison. He sneaks Rick the extra set of keys. And Rick's group goes back on the road. On the edge of the prison, hiding in the bushes, is the governor, stalking them as they leave. And scene. I think that could be interesting, that the people are upset with Carl because he killed that boy.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't think it's the last he's going to hear of it.
I think that's a distinct possibility. Yeah, so let's just stop there. Good theory.
This and thanks for writing in, David. This next one comes from Lee. And in homage to the Walker Stalkers, I'm going to read it this way. Effity F F F, not Karen F.
But that's not what it says.
No, but we cleaned it up for you guys. Walker Stalkers, we love you.
We fucking love you guys.
That was Jason. Excellent April Fool's joke. I'm pretty gullible. I love your podcast and I listen while running, driving, working, or halfway taking care of our kids. It makes the show. It's awesome.
Nice.
It makes the show so much better as I.
Wait. Stop right now. Look, make sure your kid's okay. All right. He's not turning up the gas or something. All right. Good.
Not trapped under a bookcase. It makes the show so much better as I have no one that watches the show to talk to. I can listen to y'all point out all the problems, but also I get reminded of how awesome it really is. Otherwise, I would be put off as I focus on negatives too much. I agree that what most people said was that it was a lame way to end the season with a terrible war. The prison gang was convinced they were all going to die if they did. If they did fight, and all they end up going. Sorry.
If they didn't fight.
Thank you. This is not my fault. There's a missing N.
You have to fill in the N sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. And they all ended up. All they ended up doing was shoot their feet and yell a lot. Did they really think that was going to keep the governor away? I wanted to comment just on why it is plausible they brought Woodburyans back to the prison, though I agree that shows get affected by budgets. First, Woodbury was the governor's house, and he is still a huge threat. His familiarity with the town makes it vulnerable. Second, I don't think Rick is ready to leave where Lori died. Thirdly, it would be a lot easier remaining control of the newbies when they are bringing them in. They automatically must submit to their rules and authority there, whereas at Woodbury, there would be the obvious, you can't come here and tell us how to live in our house.
That's a good point.
Those are all really good points.
Those are all good points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've come around to I think the prison is easier to secure it from humans. Woodbury might be fine against zombies, but humans can seem to be able to slip in and out of there pretty easy. And with the governor and his guys on the loose, that might not be safe.
I hope they clear out the field. That's the first field in between the first fence and the second fence, because I think they should really plant a garden.
Yeah, they need to. That's what they did in the comic, in that field.
Did they? In the comic? I want cherry tomatoes.
And Herschel had his hoe leg. No, just kidding. This is from Michelle. First, let me say thank you for playing my call on the season finale podcast. My husband, Rory, and I were so excited to hear me on your podcast. We were jumping up and down like giddy schoolgirls.
Adorable.
Anyway, I just wanted to explain how we were able to get Bella to make those noises. So she's the one that had the zombie dog, remember?
Yes.
Rory and her have a love-hate relationship.
Oh, my.
Bella often gets mad when Rory ignores her. So she talks to him to get his attention. What you heard was a part of that. So that was a love sound.
And I said that they should just squeeze the poor dog.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Or rub his belly. There's no dog squeezing or anything like that, LOL. I've attached an audio file of her talking that should sound a lot clearer. Hopefully this will be the first of many pet zombie sounds on your podcast. Well, the first was your cat, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Maybe this will be the second. Anyway, thanks again, and I look forward to hearing your podcast in the off season. So I haven't heard this yet, but here it is.
Problem is you do it. Have to do it.
All right.
That might be the best zombie sounds ever.
That's like a zombie when they're just sitting around and there's no humans around and they're just bored and like, oh, nobody's come around here. I'm hungry.
Bored. That is awesome. The next, thanks by the way, Michelle. Next email is from Ramon. Ramon writes, hey, Ramon from Brazil again. Sorry. Sorry. Just wanted to say, sorry. Just want to say congratulations on your 100 episodes. Can't believe it's been so long since I started searching for a Walking Dead podcast after finishing episode 1, season 1, and found you guys. So much happened. Damn nostalgia. Being honest, you guys helped me a lot. Back in the day when things were not very good for me. I also broke the chain. No emails from me in the podcast this season. Haha, gotta go. Gotta give you guys a break. But I'm always listening. Oh, Ramon.
Remember Ramon from Brazil? He wrote when we were doing, I think, way back in season 1.
Did he have an accent?
Probably season 2. He hasn't called. I don't think he's called in.
Ramon, if you have an accent, for God's sakes, man, call.
I remember he used to write a lot. And this, I don't know, does this count as this season? I guess the season's over.
Yes, this does. Thank you, Ramon. Man, that cheers me up so much. I love hearing stories like that. Thanks, baby.
From Colin, it was great reliving the. This is Colin, who was one of the Woodbury soldiers that we met.
We
on set.
love Colin.
Yeah.
We saw him in the
Colin.
season finale.
He's a superstar.
Yeah, he is.
He says it was great reliving the time at the Woodbury prison. Thanks for the quick shout out on your cast, which I thoroughly enjoy. Jason, glad to see you got some screen time and shot at that. I wanted Colin to shoot me, but he was not positioned where it would have made sense for him to shoot in that direction. He was like a couple down.
You know, he was working as a Woodbury soldier the day I was there.
Yeah.
And I, at one point, we're all sort of standing around. The Woodbury soldiers we were all sort of waiting for the film to go, and we were standing. And the Woodbury soldiers were on the truck, and they were looking at us with their guns pointed at us. And so I flipped him off just to be funny. I flipped him the bird awesome. Just to see what would happen. Yeah, what'd he do? And they all laughed. Do you remember that,
I didn't
Colin?
think about doing that. Damn.
I was like, F you, Woodbury soldiers. And then they shot me.
He says, you should be fine to post a screenshot now that it's aired. I put some up on Facebook.
Oh, good.
There's a lot of the soldiers' photos around. Karen, sorry there was no love for you. Hopefully the DVD.
I felt the love. Don't worry.
Did you ever go back and go through screen by screen?
No, I should. And maybe on the DVD I will.
I got to agree with Karen. The prison raid was so quick. I don't think they ever addressed where Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Carol were during the fight. I thought Rick was around, but anyways.
No, I don't think I saw
The
him.
way it plays is that Glenn and Maggie were the only ones shooting at them. I know there were some scenes that showed some of the Woodbury soldiers getting killed inside the tombs. Not me. One was killed by Michonne and the other by Daryl. Oh, yeah, I remember them talking about that. The guys killed by them were bummed not to get their moments when the show was on, They were watching it.
Yeah.
Like, but we will have to wait for the DVD for that. For 30-plus guys to raid the prison, it seemed really easy to dispatch them even after they split in 2 groups. My 2 cents. You know what I think happened is they had our characters killing some of these guys, and it just seemed too brutal for them to be killing these soldiers who barely had any training and were dupes of the governors.
Yeah.
But come on, just have it, show it anyway. That's what they would need to do if they were attacked.
Right.
I think it was a mistake not to show that.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
But thanks for writing in, Colin, man. I hope you write in again sometime.
Thanks, Colin.
All right, let's get on to some calls. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls this week. This first one.
There's a good one in here too.
Is from where is it? Nico from San Francisco.
What?
He's singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Some people say they like when Nico's on.
Yes. What's not to like about Nico? Wow, amazing he can call in.
I know.
That's awesome.
He was supposed to be at daycare.
He's a talented young man. He's at the bar. Just
That's
like
why he's
drunk
like
dialing.
That. I love you, Dad.
More beer in my sippy cup.
Okay, this is Trevor from LA.
Hi, Jason and Karen. This is Trevor from LA. And I really only have one thing to say. Fuck, Karen, no. Fuck. Oh. April Fools. You got me. Right up until the end, until Jason mess that little thing up. Anyway, I love the show, and here is my zombie sound.
Like some creature that seems familiar to me. A gremlin, maybe.
Yeah. Or who was in Star Wars?
It's a Star Wars thing. Huh?
Yeah, he was enjoying.
Which one?
Yoda.
Yoda.
Remember when Yoda was enjoying? That was great. I don't know. Wow, that's great. Sorry, Trevor. We didn't mean to screw with your brain. Actually, of course we did.
A lot of people were fooled by that. Yes, because if no one was fooled, then we would have felt dumb.
You can write to us at Jason and Bill. Was it Bill?
Yeah, Jason and Bill at walkingdeadcast.com. Okay, here's Ben from Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Ben, and I have a 2-year-old daughter. I just wanted to share with you something that she started doing last week. I did not teach her this. She's not watched The Walking Dead with me. I don't know where she learned it, but I'm definitely encouraging it.
It'd be funny if it was like, Rah! It might be.
He's encouraging it.
Here it goes. Sophie, can you do zombie Sophie for me?
It sounded great. It was hard to hear.
There it is. Thank you.
Oh, it was adorable.
It was really good. I'll have to bump it up, but that was pretty close to what I was just saying.
Well done, Sophie.
Very good. Little babies are the best at that.
God, they really are. They're actually, I think their little zombie sounds are some of the most frightening.
Here's from Corey.
All right, it's Corey Mayberry. I called. I don't know, in season 2, but I just listened to the podcast, and I must say I must be like an idiot or something, because I almost turned off the podcast when you said Karen was leaving, and I would have never listened again. Like, what was the name? Bill?
Yes.
Jason and Bill? Oh, come on. God, I cannot believe I believe that. And that what pissed me off. She was like, oh, you were like, oh, would you like to say it? No.
No.
No?
Screw
you don't
y'all.
say anything to us?
I love that.
It almost brought me to tears, man. But,
I love it because you didn't say, you were like, no, you're just like, well, how did you say it? You're
no.
Like, yeah, you're like, no. Like we've just been fighting before this. Screw you, I'm going to leave right now.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
No, you're not.
It's 2:22 in the morning, and I scream, fucking fuck.
April Fool.
Jesus. Mom woke up, what the fuck is going on here? Nothing to worry about. In tears, and then I hear April Fools. I'm like, Jesus Christ. All right, but anyways,
awesome.
I know this is late and all. Season finale. It was all right. Sad to see the governor still living.
Me too.
I was hoping Martinez would join Rick, because Martinez is a badass. And, yeah, other than that, God. All right. Now that my heart was beating, maybe I had a stroke. Yeah, anyways, glad to see her staying, and we're not being replaced with Bob or Bill. Jason and Bill. Yeah, jeez. Oh, dear. Okay, anyways, thanks for giving me a heart attack. You guys doing a hell of a job. Have a good one.
Thanks, Corey.
You're welcome, Corey. That's pretty funny. Poor Bill.
Yeah.
He's actually
Bill didn't do anything
so
to
much more
this.
talented and more deserving than I am.
If he existed, he would be. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people were like, damn you. But it's April Fool's. I mean, I promise we won't do this again until next April.
Did the podcast come out on April Fool's Day?
I think it might have came out a few minutes before midnight. But April Fool's jokes always work best when they're on March 31st or April 2nd.
We're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry.
He's not sorry, but I am.
This is from
Love you, Corey.
Wayne from Alberta, Canada.
Hi, Jason and Karen. It's Blaine calling from Alberta, Canada. Just thought I'd phone and leave you guys a message and let you know how much I enjoy your podcast, and I really look forward to it every week. It's a great addition to the show, and I really do almost look forward to it as much as the TV show sometimes. So I hope you guys keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thought I'd offer my thoughts on the season finale here, and thought the season was great this season, and it was really awesome. All the episodes are really good. The season finale I thought was really good as well. The thing that kind of bugged me though, that Andrea's death really didn't carry any weight for me. Like, I didn't feel it in my gut like I have with some of the other characters. I liked the character, I liked the actress. I just found the writing, the way they wrote her character, and the things they had her do this season just really frustrated me. And I've never found myself wanting to scream at the television so often as I did at Andrea this season. So, you know what? I'm okay with her going, and really like the actress and the character, but I was okay with it. Just didn't really feel it in the end with her death. So, anyhow.
You know, a lot of people say they didn't feel the weight of that. I've felt worse, like maybe when Dale died, but I felt like, oh, that was horrible. I mean, did you not feel the weight of it? There's something about the way they did it.
I agree with Wayne/Blaine. I don't know. It sounded like Blaine to me, not Wayne. But
okay, maybe it's Blaine.
In Alberta. I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. But as far as her, I've probably said this before, but being someone that you want to scream at, and, you know, the last call about wanting Martinez to stay with Rick's group because he's a badass, that impulse is not good for storytelling. If every character on the show was a badass, they'd all be the same, you know? It's like you got to have people who are flawed.
Right.
And Andrea had some pretty big flaws, and I'm okay with that.
And I felt like her flaws were understandable. They weren't inexplicable flaws.
Right, exactly. And like, it's like if, probably this is too old of a reference, but on Dallas, J.R. Ewing, if people were like, JR's mean, get him off of there. You know, it's like, no, you got to have people who are not perfect.
Yeah, and that's what makes a story, man.
Anyway, here we go.
The other comment I had was about the prison versus Woodbury, you know, where to go, where to stay. I guess my thought is, with the governor's home turf being Woodbury, stick with what you know, stick at the prison, and make it whatever you can. So I guess that makes sense to me. But I had the same question, and I was really glad to hear you guys talk about it at your last podcast, so that was great. So some of my predictions here coming up for the next season is that, Jason, you had mentioned that Rick's greatest fear was of Carl becoming the governor or something like that, being like the governor. And I'm wondering if maybe in season 4, if they're going to have the governor somehow interact or kidnap Carl. Not to kill him or torture him, but for the governor to try to totally corrupt Carl, which is probably the worst thing he could do to Rick. I just look at the way that the governor tries to manipulate and change people, and I think that that's the worst thing he could do. And I'm wondering if they're going to go there this season coming up. My other prediction is that they're going to turn the prison into this thriving community with all these things going for it, and then the governor is going to come back and absolutely destroy their home and in the prison and force them out. That's sort of my prediction, and I hope somebody shoots them in the head. Some of the other stuff is I'm really enjoying the comic. You know, I purposely stay quite a bit behind with what's going on in the show. You know, so I pick up the graphic novels on my iPad, and I really enjoy those. What's really impressive to me is how they've taken some of the great ideas, arcs, and characters from the comic, and they've worked them into the show, but that they're not stuck with strictly regurgitating what was in the comic, which I think is great. Really good approach. So the other thing.
Oh, he got cut off. But as far as the prison, I'm sure that every season they're gonna do a time jump because of Carl growing.
Yeah. They have to explain it somehow.
Yeah, so I imagine, I hope when we come back, the prison is more fortified, and maybe they'll build more sets so we don't always just see those same few cells. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And little ass kicker will be walking. That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
You're probably right. Yeah, Walking Dead.
Thanks for calling, Blaine Wayne.
Next is Soroya from Michigan.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Karen. It's Soroya calling from Michigan, one of your biggest fans.
Aww.
I absolutely adore your show. It's quirky, it's funny, and you guys just have such a great chemistry. So keep up the good work. I'd like to make one small suggestion. On your website, is it possible for you to add an RSS feed? So anytime you update your website, I can just have a link set up in my reader and get notified immediately. Right now, I have to go back and check, and it's not quite as convenient. But your website's great, your show is great, and so like I said before, definitely keep up the good work, and I'm always looking forward to listening to new podcasts from you. So I guess that's about it. So I'll give you my zombie sound. Wow. That kind of sounded like a cat with a hairball, didn't it?
No.
Oh, wow. Thanks so much. And don't get bit.
Oh, thanks, Roy. We love you too.
Creepy.
I didn't suspect that sound would come out of that sweet voice.
I always love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Zombie sound. Yeah, I think I can probably do that. You're not the first person who's asked, so I'll take a look.
We'll do it because of you.
Because of you,
baby.
And then finally, there's a guy who I don't think he left his name, but here we go.
It's Bill.
Hi. I want to say something about the argument that the battle in the season finale was not long enough or wasn't good enough. I want to argue with that. What Karen said. I usually don't agree with her as much, but this time I do. Yeah, and you want to know what it is about it that isn't good, that wasn't good enough?
Sure.
Hey, it was too short. It was too short. What do I want? Yeah, I want more shooting. That's what I want. I want more of that. And not only do I want more of it, I want more of a struggle. Okay, it felt too easy. It wasn't just that it's too short, which it was. There was not enough of a struggle. I felt like it, boom, boom, I shut the place down, and then the people in the prison are like, hey, no, we're going to shoot you too, and then you're going to leave. And they just left. It was too easy. It was too easy. And not only that, the governor killed everyone. And, like, okay.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, well, we find out from Colin that some of those guys were supposed to die and they took it out.
Yes.
So it made it problematic. I agree.
That's kind of cool. It's kind of different. I would have preferred that they go back to Woodbury to defend and have another battle. That's what I would have liked as well. So it was too easy. It was not that climactic because it didn't last that long and it wasn't that good. It just wasn't that good. There's some cool explosions.
It's good. This is Scott Gimple. It's a good thing because he's in charge of the show now, so he can do what he wants.
We agree with you, Scott.
Yeah. Do it. Make it happen.
Died and stuff, but there wasn't enough of a struggle. It wasn't long enough. It should have happened at the end. How do you put the climax in the beginning? It's supposed to build up to something cool.
I said climax.
It started with something moderately cool that should have been cooler, and then ended with something less cool. And I think the 4.6, that's way too high. I give that like a 3.6. The first half of this season was extremely hard.
I'm sorry. You know what, Scott? You're right. I should have given it a lower score. I totally admit that.
You're letting a Scott Gimple.
Yeah, I mean,
he
should know. He's the showrunner,
and he sounds like the man on the street right now.
I do agree with that. I think 4.6. But if you listen to my review, the review was more of a 3.8 review, and then I slapped a 4.6 on there. So I should have given it a 3.8. So there.
Awesome. Really awesome. Every episode was like, boom. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then after the break, it was just not good, man. Maybe one or two episodes that were above a 4 for me.
Clear, come on, man.
But
Clear.
mostly, it's just like,
Clear was
what
good.
happened? It's just like not that good. So I'm a little disappointed at The Walking Dead. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm very disappointed. You know what? I've always compared The Walking Dead to Lost. Similar. There's survivors, crazy shit happens, there's a war between them and other people like the others. There's tons of similarities between Lost and The Walking Dead. But
Yeah, he got cut off too. I want to know what he was going to say next. He didn't call back and say. He just got too mad and didn't bother, I guess. All right. Well, I always enjoy your calls, so you should call back sometime.
Yes, Scott Gimple.
Bitch at us.
Bill.
Okay. Are you ready to close it out?
I am.
All right. That's our show, episode 103. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
So Gene Morton sent us these brain pops.
Oh,
cool,
Gene.
huh?
They're so great. Did you see what's written on the back? Brains. Don't get bit,
yep.
Jason and Karen.
Oh, there's 8. I thought there were only 6, and I ate 3, but there's 8.
Awesome. They're cherry flavored.
They were really good, too.
Oh, my God. I love them.
I don't know if they're are they cherry?
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay.
Cherry flavored. And if you press 2 of them together, it's one complete brain.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. They're so
Thank you, Gene.
fabulous.
Tasty.
Gene, you're the best. Love you.
Okay, a second ago during the break, Karen said the creepiest thing that happened to me all day, and I was like, wait, save it for the podcast.
Because I did have something genuinely creepy happen to me. So this morning I woke up at dark o'clock because that's the time I'm used to for my hellish commute, as I've griped about before. And as I'm leaving the bedroom, and it's pitch black in our house, really, really dark, and I noticed that there's a hole in the floor at the threshold of the bedroom, right next to where right where the door jamb is. And there's a hole, and there's a light shining up from underneath. And I'm like, that's strange. That shouldn't be there. We have a crawl space under our house. We have a really old house. It's about 100 years old. And there's a crawl space under there. And David saw me hesitating and looking down at the floor. And he said, what are you doing? And I said, there's a hole in the floor. And he's like, great. And I said, and there's a light shining up. And so he came over here and he said, well, it must be.
This sounds like a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, well, keep with me for a sec. Okay. So we had somebody do some work on our house recently, and we thought maybe they left the light on in the crawl space. That's probably the answer. We actually have a light in the crawl space. And so this morning I went down and opened the door to the crawl space. There's no light on. There's no source of light shining up. And I looked down there and it's pitch black down there.
That's why you so.
I know, right? It was so creepy. And then at the time I was like, oh good, he didn't leave the light on. And then I got upstairs and I was like, but wait, if the light wasn't on, what was the light when I was looking? What was shining up through the hole? I don't know. I still don't know.
Demon.
Yes.
Is in your house.
Yes, probably.
Wow.
I know, right?
Like Evil Dead, which was.
It's just like Evil Dead. Thanks, honey. That's sweet.
Okay, well, let me know if you find out what it was.
If I'm here next time, I'll
or
have.
If you're here and you're like, I'm gonna eat you. Oh, no, that was a demon that possessed you.
That's normal. I do that every.
What'd you think of the episode? I'm gonna kill you, Karen.
You say that every single time.
Focus. Okay.
Okay.
I mentioned that we got some negative reviews for going too easy on the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to reiterate what our aim is with this podcast. So I think we've always kind of agreed that our main goal isn't to critique the show.
It's to have beer.
It's to have beer and have fun. And we do give it a rating, but I think, in my opinion, what we do is we celebrate the show that we love. That's why we're doing the podcast.
Right.
And we're trying to deepen and enrich your appreciation and enjoyment of it by analyzing it and giving insight and joking around and things like that. So it's not, the critique is part of it, but it's not the main goal. I think I don't want to watch it and go, okay, let me see if I can pick this apart.
Right.
And figure out every flaw and what's wrong and how it could be better. You know what I mean? That. If that was my main goal, it just doesn't seem like it would be that much fun.
I'd get tired quick.
I think I could do that with anything in my life or
in
any show.
Of course.
You can find holes in things.
Right.
That's not the idea. I'm all about the art of it. And if something takes me out of that art, in a big way, then of course I'm going to talk about it.
Right.
But it's not my goal to make sure and catch every mistake or something like that.
And we genuinely liked it, you know?
Yeah, I did too. I still do. I think it ended on a real down note for me, and I didn't like that part, which I said in my review. I did probably give it too high of a score, but to go on and give us a 1-star review and kind of put a permanent black mark on our record because I gave it one episode a high score, I think that's kind of ridiculous. That kind of hurt. So, but anyways, I mean, you know, if you don't like that strategy, I guess, of, you know, celebrating the show and trying to deepen and enrich your appreciation through analysis, then you're probably listening to the wrong podcast.
And there are podcasts out there for you.
Yeah. And, you know, I mentioned Watching Dead earlier kind of in a joking way, but I think Watching Dead is known to be one of the more critical podcasts.
Yeah, it's
and
good
they're
too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're funny as hell. Almost every point they make has some intelligence behind it. They're really smart, you know, and I kind of think we got a few 1-star reviews after that review, and I kind of think some of them listened to Watching Dead and then they heard them call us out and they listened to us. And
did Watching Dead call us out?
In that episode, they're like, well, they just said, I wonder what Jason and Karen gave it, and then they're like, yeah, if they gave it too that high of a score, I'm calling them. But it was kind of in a sense of fun. It wasn't. Right. I mean, I didn't take it in a bad way at all. No, I really do like those guys, and I'm glad that there's different flavors of show out there.
You know, and we have to be true to who we are.
Yeah, I mean, I fully, like, I think even with Jay and Jack, they weren't sitting there picking Lost apart.
Nope.
They were, but it helped me appreciate the show more to listen to them. Mm-hmm. And we kind of model ourselves after that. So that's about all I have to say about that. Meantime, if you'd like to leave us a message, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323. And I wanted to mention, I've mentioned this before, but you can also send an audio file by email, which is great because it sounds clearer. As you can hear, some of these calls are audio files. And also, if you record it and you don't like how it turned out, you can delete it and start over if you want. So if you're nervous about calling, that's another way to do it.
Yeah.
An easy way to send an audio file, if you have an iPhone, which is what I have, so I know this, you open the voice memo app, record your message, and then you tap the little arrow and tap share, and then you can send it to us.
It's pretty easy. I've done that before. It's
Try it,
great.
yeah.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website at walkingdeadcast.com. And as I always say, don't forget to click through our Amazon link on there whenever you shop at Amazon. It's great. You can have the satisfaction of knowing you're doing something to support us and you don't have to pay anything extra. And I've been telling people, make a bookmark on your browser if you don't want to have to remember that each time. So then when you shop at Amazon, you just click that Amazon.com/deadcast bookmark. WalkingDeadcast.com/Amazon bookmark.
You know, my mom doesn't necessarily listen to every single one of our podcasts, but she always clicks through.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
when she orders anything on Amazon.
My mom's been doing that too.
It's very sweet. Thanks, moms. We love moms.
Even though you're not hearing this.
I'll call you and thank you. We're also on Twitter at Jason and Karen. On Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
Oh, yeah. And you like to say we're on Pinterest at pinterest.com/deadcast.
Tumblr.
Tumblr at walkingdeadcast.tumblr.com.
And it's also, we have a link on our website for that.
For all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, it's our season 3 wrap-up crossover, our annual wrap-up crossover with Chris and Jason of the Talking Dead podcast.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Love those guys.
Oh, and I also, I forgot, but I wanted to thank James and Eric of the Walker Stalkers, and of course, Jay and Jack.
Thanks Jay and Jack.
For coming on.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, James.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't get thick.
Jack Glatfelter.
I'll
follow you, soul.